read something to you. I gotta find it. But I want to read something to you that was written in 2011 with regards to domestic terrorism. It kind of forecasts some of the things that we see happening today, such as the event that occurred in, let's call it what it was, the massacre that occurred in Las Vegas or Nevada. Was it Las Vegas? I think it's important to come to terms with a new reality. And that new reality is that we will have more of these types of incidents. You know, that is the new reality. It ain't, like I said, it was forecast in 2011. It's not a new reality. It's a new awareness, or an awareness that needs to be made. And the reason that it's so important is because, you know, each time one of these events occurs, then we're asking some of the same questions. How could it be prevented? Let me answer that to you. It can't. I mean, that's why it's important, because people refuse to say it can't. Sure, some incidents might be prevented specifically, like at the time or in that way or to that degree, but you can't, there's nothing that can be done where you can guarantee that you will never have an act of violence or domestic terrorism. That's my point. And so you can have all the gun laws you want to, you can get rid of every single gun, you can make having guns illegal, and you're still going to have these acts of violence, you know. And so then you say, well, is it a mental health issue? Directly it is. Some people it's a straight up mental health case, but then there's some people where it's mental health, but not in the way that a lot of people think of mental health. You see what I'm saying? It's not a condition that you can label that person with. Some people just have lack of coping skills. And therefore, I mean, it's so many different things, but if you look at some of my other videos, I kind of outline the different things that lead up, that helps allow a person to do something like this. So if you got someone who is unhappy with their lives, but for various reasons, so they handle it in various ways, but say somebody who is angry, jealous, unhappy with their own life personally, and see no reason for continuing to live, but at the same time see an opportunity to make a name for him or herself in passing. Well then, now they have an outlet to do it. They can, you've seen some people make posts on social media saying that they're going to do this, that, the other, even commit suicide. I mean, these to me, you have some of the same individuals who are capable of doing either of these things, committing suicide or committing acts of domestic terrorism. That's why you have people committing acts of domestic terrorism and then committing suicide. These are just people with some similar issues to varying degrees. So you have some who desire to make a name for themselves as they commit these acts, and so they will, before committing suicide, perform acts of domestic terrorism. You see what I'm saying? They know it's going to be, maybe they're unhappy with other things that's going on in life. They haven't accomplished what they wanted to. Some might have plenty of money. Money don't make you happy. I got another book that's called Finding Happiness. You can't find happiness externally. It's coming to a certain place through personal development that you realize happiness is generated from within. You got to be happy with yourself as an individual. And that means no matter what you are enduring, then you realize that you need to enjoy the journey, have a certain perspective about it that enables you to learn from it, and something about you that enables you to have expectations for greater days. So you got to be able to have hope. So you see, if you're missing certain elements and components of personal development that keeps you from looking at things in such a way that you will have hope, and that you look for lessons, and that you know no matter what the challenge, it doesn't mean that you're deemed to be in that slump forever, then you can come to a point in which you feel that it might as well end. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying that there will always be acts of domestic terrorism, especially now since you have the internet, 24-hour news coverage. They know that, you know, if nothing else has gone right, some people, look at how many people want to be famous, in addition to other things that they believe make them happy, acquiring material things. And so that's why even people with money can find themselves unhappy. And especially people, I ain't gonna say especially, it's people that's with money who is more depressed and sad than some people who have been poor all their lives. Because again, it's a personal development issue. It's a certain way of looking at things, looking at life, valuing life, knowing what to value in life. You see what I'm saying? Relationships. It's people with plenty of money and have no relationships, no meaningful relationships. It's having the wrong focus, placing the value in the wrong thing. So anyway, now, like I said, so you can have that, you could be in that situation as an individual and have no chemical, well, you get to a place where you have a chemical imbalance and you live life for a number of years with that perspective of life. So you can have people who are born or come to have a chemical imbalance which produces a state of mental illness, or you could have someone who develops a state of mental illness from having the poor perspective on life, in many cases due to a lack of personal development. But anyway, you see my point? It's the chicken and egg thing. So that's why I said, yeah, there's mental illness, but maybe not in the way that you think. You see what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff could be prevented if a person, by whatever means, ends up learning coping skills and learns things that enables him or her to have hope for the future, not be jealous of other people, cultures, groups, placing proper value and not in material things or material gain, but in forming meaningful relationships with other people. You know, there's all of these things. Proper perspective on life and moving in a good direction for real happiness helps prevent all of this stuff. Gun laws will not prevent it. I'd like to add this back to why these things will continue to exist. Think about it. The more you do to try to be proactive or prevent something like this, then it equates to taking more and more of our freedoms away. In other words, say the hotel. If you check every single thing that's possible to be checked, you do all the screening you want to, people will say that you want more done, but ain't nobody trying to put over that. Look at the TSA thing, when it first occurred. And people will still complain, they'll bring up incidents of being checked. I mean, you know, I'm not going to debate on what someone should and shouldn't do, but the reality is this: people want it both ways. In other words, you say how how can we be more, how can we do more to prevent it? There is no magic bullet. There is no magic solution. And to do more checking and everything without being physical, I mean, there's only so far you can go. And even being physical, there's only so far you can go. So it's just, you got to be, man, it does not take a genius, y'all, to realize that you cannot completely prevent this stuff. There's not even enough things that you can do for a person that would be ridiculous to make a statement like, just to say that this will never happen again. So, I mean, that's a reality. So as long as you got the people with a desire to commit these acts, then these acts are going to happen. Maybe they're not the exact same thing, but you know, they're going to happen. Because it's a personal development issue. It's not a gun issue. You can use a car to do it. You can use, I mean, anything you can do to do it. You can poison the water. You can break into a city, wherever wherever is ground zero for the water supply, and dump stuff in the water. I mean, it's all kinds of things you can do. So if a person wants to commit some type of act on society, human beings, they'll find a way to do it. And I mean, they're choosing guns not here, and they really want to do something, make a name, leave with their name on the news and the highlight, then they're going to find a way to make that happen. Now, another one of the things that could be done is, I mean, that's a catch-22, but it's the same type of scenario. Like I was about to say, is to limit the amount of reporting that's done. I think maybe one of the things that can be done is to degrade the people in the reporting. You know, talk about how silly they are, how sad they are, how pathetic they are, and then that's going to help, I believe, be a deterrent. I mean, that takes away some of the motivation for wanting to commit the acts and thinking that your name was going to be put out there and you'll get your 5 minutes of fame. Because, like, that's icing on the cake of, that's icing on a, nah, that's fungus on spoiled fruit. I mean, that's taking a life that you hate and making it worse, knowing that doing something and then how you're portrayed in the media even push you down more. So that might be helpful. But now, if you really want, to me, again, I say this over and over for many reasons. To me, if you really want to counter a lot of this stuff, one of the things that can be done is to teach personal development and life skills in school. Elementary, middle school, and high school. This should be part of the curriculum. Understand that you have too many households where these necessary life skills and personal development components are not taught. So you have that person growing up lacking those skills because the parents don't know to teach it. And then you end up with a member of society who is not productive and has a higher likelihood of going down this path. You see? Now, another thing is to teach the public, instead of pretending that each event is an anomaly, teach the public that these things is anticipated that this will occur again, and what things can you do in order to play a role as an individual in preventing preventing it, and that is to be more aware, be more observant, pay more attention, be more willing to, everyone, be more willing to contact authorities if you're suspicious of activity. Because when you have outliers, people who believe that you shouldn't talk to the police about these different things, and people who are hesitant of calling because they don't want to, it's still a problem. You're going to have people who feel like they don't want to encroach, and understand that. Don't nobody want to encroach on somebody else's privacy and all, or take things for granted, or falsely accuse. And that's what it is. You don't want to falsely accuse. You just want to say, this is strange, I don't know what it means, this is what I saw, boom, that's it. And again, though, I'm saying, man, you know, it's not easy to address. But these are the things to think about and have a conversation about, because these little things could make a difference in some situations. Again, there is no magic bullet. This doesn't mean that things still can't happen, but these are things that we can look at and consider in order to make life more safe, generally speaking. Like I said, all of this is a new reality, and we just have to shift and adapt and do things a little bit differently in order to make things a little more safe, but understanding that the potential for these things to occur is there. And then how can we continue enjoying life despite that fact?